My name is Mike Glasgow. I'm a registered dietitian. Originally from Michigan, I went to Michigan State University and did my internship at the University of Michigan Hospital. Been in Wisconsin for about 3 years. Currently I work for the Greater Wisconsin Agency on Aging Resources, which is the area agency on aging. Put in place by the Older Americans Act of 1965. We're actually a not-for-profit in place under federal law to oversee the Older Americans Act program. And as a dietitian, I work with another dietitian, and what we do is oversee the elderly nutrition program for the state of Wisconsin. The Meals on Wheels, the home-delivered meals, and then the congregate meals through state funds, federal funds, local county funds that run the elderly nutrition program, county nutrition programs for the state. I'm in my office probably half of the time. The other half I'm out in the counties. We serve almost the entire state, with the exception of Dane County, which is where Madison is, and then Milwaukee County. We serve the rest of the entire state and all. So 70 counties and 11 tribes. We help oversee their nutrition program. At least myself and then the dietitian that helps me as my partner. Typical day, as I said, if I'm in the office, a lot of time spent on emails and phone calls, helping people problem solve, interpret policy, working on projects. When I'm out of the office, typically we're at nutrition director meetings, hosting trainings. I'll be doing, I personally do a lot of food service trainings, a lot of food safety and sanitation trainings. I'm a ServSafe instructor and proctor, so I do a lot of ServSafe classes as well, because there are requirements for food safety and sanitation in our program, very strict requirements. We make sure that we provide the training to the people that are serving the food to the elderly population in the state. Why I like my job so much is because every day is different. Okay? They say that there's never a dull moment in this job, and there really truly isn't. And there's never a dull moment because there are always different things going on. Everybody has questions that they want answered, and they're always different questions. You know, sometimes they're the same questions, but it may be a different way to answer it because they run their program differently. As I'd said before, everybody runs their programs so much different than the next county. And I like helping to problem solve. So that's really what it is, a lot of problem solving, a lot of taking policy and procedure and the food code regulations and applying it and helping the nutrition directors apply it to their program. Because a lot of the nutrition directors they don't have a strong history of necessarily being food service people or being dietitians. A lot of them are really the county employees, and they need that expertise from a dietitian and from a food service manager, helping them problem solve in their operation as far as the food and nutrition programs go. So that's what I really enjoy the most, is helping them problem solve and interpret policy and figure out how they can run their business the best that they can within those regulations. And along with that, that's really what's the most challenging about it too, is that everybody runs their businesses, their counties so much differently, and it's policy may not apply directly to a specific county in their operation. Although they have to abide by the regulations, we have to help them problem solve and make sure that they have the right tools to make sure that they're running their program within those regulations. So, and on top of that, what I really enjoy doing is I spend a lot of time out in the counties, out at the meal sites, visiting with the participants that get the meals, and then we sit down, and when I'm out there at a meal site, evaluating a meal site, I'll sit down right with them at the table, and I'll eat lunch with them, you know, not only to evaluate the food to make sure that it's decent and it's good and the portions are right and they're meeting the requirements, but also to hear, you know, get the feedback from the participants and sit down with the people that are the participants of the program that are receiving this program and get their feedback and see how much they like it. So that's really a lot of fun. So not only sitting with the managers of the program, but also stepping out and talking with the people that actually receive the benefit of the program. My advice to a student who wants to get into aging programs would be to go out and do things. Volunteer at a nursing home, spend some time there so that you understand what it's like, you understand the dynamics working with the elderly population. Spend some time with a community nutrition program that serves the elderly population, as my position currently does. Spend some time also, don't turn down any opportunities. One of the things that also helped me get in this position is I was offered an opportunity back while I was still in college, working on a project that worked with low-income parents and their fruit and vegetable intake, trying to identify how they were then going to be feeding their children, kind of a nutrition project, or a community nutrition project. And so I would advise students to approach their instructors, approach their advisors, and see what kind of projects are going on out there and get involved in them. Don't expect to be asked, but go out there and get involved and see what's going on that you can get your hands in. Another thing that helped me get this current position is when I was working as a food service director in Michigan at the nursing home. I was given the opportunity by my boss at the time to do a presentation for the Michigan Association of Homes and Services for the Aged. And it was a presentation at a pretty big conference on changes to the food code. And my advice would be, when you get those kind of opportunities, don't pass them up. Do as many things or extracurricular kind of activities as you can, and go out there and pursue them. Find out what's available and see if you can get on those kinds of projects, because that really goes a long, long way. And any volunteer work that you can do, nursing homes, hospitals, just so that you can look good on your resume, but more importantly, you actually have the experience and you know what it's like and you know what the environment's like, so you know how to react and act when you get into that kind of position. Internships are incredibly difficult to get into right now, and anything that you can do to show that you have that kind of experience will only help.